Spirit cannot exercise power, authority over men on earth outside the house that a man built for him. Anytime a spirit wants to exercise his power on earth, on flesh, on mortals, he will begin to look for a man to build a house for him on earth. Once he can find a man to build a house for him, he will start displaying his power. The reason why we are feeling the attack, the presence and the power of a spirit, why we thought the spirit is very powerful, why we are seeing the influence of a spirit very powerful, is because there is a house that is already built for them through which they are exercising that power from. That is why anytime a spirit want to exercise their power, they must look for a man. They will identify a man in their nature that can build a house for them. Just like when God of life and immortality want to abolish death in the center of Africa, in Warri, he couldn't look for another apostle. He began to look for me. There is something the spirit is looking for in a man. There are many people that say, here I am, send me. And the spirit said, no, you don't have the nature of what I want to build a house for me. Anytime a particular spirit want to exercise his power, their power on earth, they will begin to look for a man that have the kind of their nature to build that house for them.
Judges 17 verse 5.
That is why when you see me, you don't need to look for God of life. If I don't have the nature of this God, he won't inspire me to build this altar for him. That has about 7 steps. Every step here represents something. It's not ordinary. This altar was built by revelation, so to conquer gate of death. Each step here represents a symbol to stop a particular spirit that rules in the gate of hell. No, it's not a platform. If it's a platform, I will not be teaching like that. I'm talking like this. I wouldn't know much like this. The man maker
Had a shrine
and
made an effort
and
household idol, and he consecrated one of his sons who become his priest.
a priest.
In those days,
Now go ahead.
In those days,
there
was no king in Israel.
There was no king Israel.
Everyone did what was right.
Everyone did what was right in their own eyes. Child of God, when a spirit want to exercise dominion on earth, he will begin to look for a man that will build a house for him. That was why when the God of Israel wanted to exercise his power on earth, he began to look for a man in the house of David to build a house for him. He met David. He said to David, I want a house, but not you, because I want to exercise my power, the ark of my covenant in the land of Israel. But I need somebody, I need your son to build a house to house me on earth so that I can show forth my power. Then he saw David. David doesn't have the nature of him, but he saw Solomon, a child that will be born to David. He has an incarnate image. He has a heart to build such a thing for that God. And that spirit waited until Solomon was born. He didn't care about thousands of men that are living. It's not about availability. When the spirit needs a house, he doesn't need everything that is available. 2 Samuel 7, verse 5. He said, go and tell my servant David.
Thus says the Lord.
Thus says the Lord.
Would you build a house for me to dwell in?
Would you build a house for me
To dwell in.
Anytime spirit wants to exercise his power, he will begin to look for a man that has his nature to build a house. He said, go and tell my servant David.
Thus says the Lord.
Thus says the Lord.
Would you build a house for me to dwell in?
Will you build a house for me
to dwell in?
To dwell in.
For I have not dwelt in a house since the time
I have not dwelt in the house since the time that they brought me,
the children of Israel, out of Egypt. Even to this day.
Even to this day.
But I have not moved about in a tent.
But I have moved about in tent and in tabernacle. He said, but nobody has built a house for me to show forth my power in the land of Israel. Anytime spirit want to exercise authority, power, they will be looking for a man to build a house for them. And they find Solomon worthy. Go to Acts of Apostles 7:47, evangelist. My time is running up. But Solomon
built him a house.
Immediately a house was built. The power of God, the spirit became closer to men. Men began to feel the part of that spirit God that looked very far in heaven. He began to answer prayer quickly. You can just pray now, you get answer. Because a spirit has been housed by a man.